Shabbat Shalom, and welcome to Congregation Beth Ahaba's weekly Torah videos. This week's portion is Parashat Korach, and let me tell you why it's one of my favorite Torah portions. In this portion, Korach, a man named Korach, leads a rebellion against the authority of Moses and Aaron and challenges them directly. He has several partners in this rebellion, as well as the support of 250 community leaders. There is much that can be gleaned from this portion, but this week I want to focus on disinformation and propaganda. In the initial challenge of this rebellion, Korach and his conspirators combine truth with falsehoods. You take too much upon yourselves, Rav Lachem. This is false, as it implies that Moses and Aaron chose their positions rather than God appointing them to their positions, which is how it happened in the story. For all the community are holy, all of them, and the Eternal is in their midst. This is true, and no doubt is deliberately echoing earlier places in the Torah where God calls the entire nation holy, a nation of priests, and so forth. Why then do you raise yourselves above the Eternal's congregation? Is the conclusion of the statement. And now we're back to the falsehood, to the claim that Moses and Aaron are the ones that have set themselves up as the authority rather than God, which in real life, we don't always know for certain, but the Torah tells us very clearly that in this context, Moses and Aaron were appointed. It's not that they wanted this authority for themselves. So one thing that this really should lead us to ask ourselves is, how do we respond when we hear a statement that includes some things we know to be true, as well as other things that we're not sure about? Do we assume that the whole thing is true because we know that some of it is true? Do we even notice when claims are being made around us on a day-to-day basis? Claims by the media, claims by other people, claims in our families, and do we investigate those claims to see if they're true? Now, this can be scrolling past a misleading headline on social media and unconsciously assimilating that headline as though it's actually true. Or it can be a family member making assumptions about who left the milk out of the fridge. Either way, this portion reminds us that to be a responsible member of society, we have to learn to recognize this mechanism in ourselves and do our best to think carefully about what we hear before deciding whether we believe it or whether to act on it. Shabbat Shalom.